Hi there, welcome back to JD Answers. I have another dash cam installation, and this one is by FOUCUWAY. I'm going to show you step by step on how to install this dash cam into your vehicle. Now, in order to see the footage and the menu selection, you would need to have an app. This one only works with an app. There is no screen on this one. All right, so the first thing we need to do is figure out where we're going to put the dash cam. Now, usually the dash cams I install have a screen on them. This one doesn't, so I really don't need to see this dash cam at all. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to install it right underneath the rear view mirror mount. And that way it's hidden by the rear view mirror. Now, this dash cam already has the mount already installed. It is a two-piece. You just slide it in and out, and that's how you get the mount into the dash cam. It already has a 3M adhesive strip, so all I got to do is just take this out. There you go. It's all out there. And then what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to go ahead and mount it. And once I've done mounting it, if I need to adjust it, all I have to do is move this one right here in the back. That's all I got to do is move that one. So let me go install this. Again, I want it right underneath the rear view mirror, and I'm going to center it. Just make sure you're taking off the protective covering off the lens already, which I already have. All right, so I'm going to, just make sure it's straight, leveled, which it is. And I'm just going to press on top, and that should be able to mount it very well. All right, there you go. Now, if I need to adjust it, again, I could just do this right here. You see that? That's how you adjust the dash cam. All right, now let's start with the cabling. And one of the first cables I like to use to install is the rear cable, which is the AVN right here. So I'm going to start with the the rear camera cable. All right, so what you want to do first is make sure you unwind all your cable, and that way the weight doesn't pull this down. All right, going to install the cable first into the dash cam. There's the cable installed. What we're going to do is just go straight up, and then we're going to start going to the driver's side, because that's the recommendation to installing the rear camera, is go through the driver's side. And what you do is simply between the window and the headliner, there is a 1/8 of an inch to 1/4 of an inch space. And sometimes it's closed in, but all you got to do is find the area where it's open, and you're just simply going to tuck in the wire underneath the headliner. See, right here, there's no space really. So I'm going to keep going to the left until I find some space. I found some space that's open right here, so I could pretty much push this down a little bit. You never want to push too hard, but that's what you want to do. And then you could simply tuck in the wire. What I also like to do is hold it with one hand and tuck it in under with the other hand. And then I like to use this A-pillar here, this one right here, to hold the wire. Let me give you a closer look exactly what we're doing. And right here you see the headliner and the window shield, and you can see that space. Now, this is a 2001 Toyota Camry, so this car is over 20 years old, and you can see some of the headliner here, but that's just because it's an older car. Your car is not going to have that. And all you're doing is getting the wire, and you're pushing down on the headliner. You see that? And you're tucking in the wire with the other hand. And you can see how the headliner goes down a little bit there. And that's all you're doing, is pushing the wire between the window shield and the headliner. Now, in newer cars, there's a separation here, but it doesn't really matter, because all you're doing is you're going to the rear of the vehicle. So you're just going to use the top of this. Now here you see this is a wire right here. This car has a hard wire kit, and a hard wire kit is mainly used for parking mode, motion detection when your car is parked. For example, you're in a parking garage. So if you want to see a video on how I install this, I'll put a link on the top right for you. But let's go ahead and continue. I'm going to simply go to the rear of the vehicle. And there's two ways of doing this. Now, on newer vehicles, you're gonna be closer to the weather strip, and that's one way you could do that, is using the weather strip. But here, we don't have to do that. We could simply just tuck in the wire underneath the trim. And that's what I'm gonna do right here. And then for this part, all we gotta do is simply tuck it in. And see how it's not really gonna go into the corner? You could do it, just take these pieces down. All these are just snaps. There's just little clips and snaps. You're not gonna hurt the vehicle. But if you wanna make sure, you could do is go to YouTube, find your vehicle, and put how to remove your trim, and there'll be a video for you. And if there's not, well, maybe you can create that video for them. And always make sure you like their videos for helping you. All right, so let me tell you what I'm doing. The trim here starts here, so I'm gonna pull this down, and you see how easy that was to come down. Now, I've been taking this off and on a lot, but still when I first did it, it was the same way. So now with this piece down, the A pillar down, I could simply push in the wire, and I could tuck it in the headliner corner right here. All right, so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna continue it and push it underneath the headliner. I'm moving the headliner with my fingers, and I'm actually tucking it underneath. I don't wanna do that. There we go, pushed it back out, and now it's underneath the headliner completely, and now it's going underneath the A pillar and to the rear trim. All right, and all I gotta do is connect these pieces here. There's part right here, and there's one over here in the corner. Let me try to get in the frame. You can see it right there. And they just simply snap into the frame. All right, let me try to get it to the right place. And just make sure the wires are not in the way. And let me get it in there. And simply just a little punch, and it's in. That's how easy it was. Your wires are in. You don't see any wires hanging out. There was none on the window shield, as they had those little clips on the installation, which is the worst thing to do, is that you don't want to see any wires. This is the wire I have here for the hard wire kit. I temporarily took it out so I could install this dash cam, and I just have it tucked in under here. And that's the only reason you see this wire coming out. But when I'm done with this installation, because I like a hard wire kit instead, I'm gonna install this one back underneath the headliner. All right, so let's move on. Let's move into the B pillar. All right, so now we're at the B pillar. So what we're gonna do is continue routing the wire on top of the trim between the headliner and the trim. So that's what I continue doing. Also, the dashcam company sent you this pry bar, and this is a very good trim tool. So this is what I'm gonna use also. Again, with one hand, I'm holding the wire, and the other, I'm gonna go ahead and just put in the wire. And this part right here, it's a little tight. So I'm gonna try to push it down. I'm gonna probably use a pry bar to open that up for me. There you go. And push that in there. All right, so I got that in there. Then I could just simply use the pry bar to push the wire in there as also. There it goes, and the wire's gone. And I could continue that down this way. I could use a tool to just simply push it. Let me hold it so it won't pop back out. Because this part is very tight. On your vehicle, it'll have a cut here, and it'll probably have another cut right here. So this will be more loose. This one's not for me because it's all one piece. But it's fine because right here it's a little open here. It's loose. So I could put the wire in there, work my finger back, and there it goes. And I can continue. All right, from this point, all I got to do is continue pushing the wire underneath the trim. But you see, this piece is the C pillar. And this is where we're going to go down into behind the back seat. So all you got to do now is go ahead and hit that subscribe button and select all notifications for all upcoming videos. And don't forget to like this video. So let's go ahead and continue. So what I'm going to do now is start taking down this C-pillar. Again, these are all clips. And this one's been taken off a lot, so it came out easier. But just know that they are all clips in here. So this is loose, this is fine. Because all I got to do is put the wire inside the trim. All right, here's this wire. What I'm going to do is just simply put it on top, kind of like the way we did the A pillar, and now we're doing this to the C pillar. And I'm going to go all the way down in there, and what we're going to do next is go between the C pillar and the bottom of the back seat. We're going to go in there into the back seat area. All right, so from this point, what I'm going to do is I'm going to push up the C pillar, because remember we had it loose on the top. I'm just going to push it in all the way behind there. And what I'm doing is putting it behind the clips. Let me get you a closer look what I did. And you see this clip? That's what I did. I put the wire behind it. And there's the wire. Now I could finish installing the C-pillar. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna move this piece up. Now remember, this is all clips, but this one, again, it's an older car, the clips are broken, so I don't have to worry about this too much. See how easy I'm able to do that? And this is the clip where it's supposed to go into. So now what I'm gonna do is just push the wire behind there. Now that the wire is behind the back seat, so all we gotta do now is push it underneath the carpet area. This one had some Velcro, so I could use the Velcro to put the wire behind it. All right. Same thing for this side. Put it underneath the carpet. Now all I got to do is work my way into the trunk area now. All right, so the next step is to put the wire behind this panel here, because it's going to go up into the hinge here for the trunk. Now in your vehicle, usually you have clips here, but this one's an older vehicle, so it doesn't have the clips. So all I gotta do is just push this carpet out. Here we go. Push it behind there. Until it comes out right here with the hinges at, right here in this area. So let me push this back. Make sure the wire is underneath the carpet. There it goes. Push this one back in there. All right, so now we can work right here in this hinge area. And what I'm going to do is utilize this wire harness, and I'm going to zip tie the wire harness, the wire to the wire harness to go into the trunk space here, which is behind this carpet area. All right, here goes right. All right, you can see where I have all the zip ties. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zip ties. All I got to do is cut these off and start the next step. All right, the next phase is to take off all this carpeted area so we could get inside the trunk, so we could know exactly how to route the wire, because the wire is going to go behind there. And the way you do that, you take these clips off. You could use a screwdriver, or I use this. And simply just push it underneath and pull out, and it takes out your clips. And that's all you got to do is do that. So let me finish this, and I'll show you what we got in the inside. All right, this is how the trunk area looks. And now it's time to install the rear camera. All right, now we need to figure out where we're going to install the rear camera. And this is it here. All right, so I got the adhesive off. And now we simply just gonna have to install the dash cam. When you install your dash cam, the way the clip is facing out is the lens is facing the same way. That's the direction you want to go. And what we're going to do is utilize the license plate lights to go inside the trunk to come out on this side. And mine just has some screws with some clips, and that's all I'm going to do is take those out. So let me take that out first. Okay, I have the light out, and I'm simply going to do is just push in the wire inside that hole area. And you're going to see it come out over here, which you can see it right here. All right, so let's continue. And what you need to do is simply now position the dash cam exactly where you want it. And it's pretty much centered, but you want the lens centered. So let me move this up to the left here, the right, I'm sorry. Let me give you, there you go. Now you can see what I'm doing. And that's where I want it. I want it centered, the lens centered towards the front. All right, so all we got to do now is push in the dash cam to make it a good seal. Make sure the camera's facing out. You could always adjust this later. All right, so what I'm going to do is put the license plate light back in. Simply going to just tuck in the wire here and push this back in and push in to get a good seal. And here I go. And I'm actually going to put a new tab on this one. Let me take this out. I got a new clip on there. So now I could go ahead and finish my installation. Push that in. I got this. I push that in. And then what I'm doing is I'm pushing the license plate light against the car. So next I could push in the clip. Trying to get out of the camera here. There it goes. All right, so the license plate's in, the first part of the clip is in. Now I just gotta simply push in the middle and it should stay there. All right, again, it's an older car, so they come out. Okay, that's done. All right, we have it in. You can see it here. It's inside the license plate light. Now we're gonna work into the back area. Now from this point, all you gotta do is get both ends, push them in. And if their stud doesn't go in right away, just turn them and they'll clip right in, no problem. So what you could do now is, since we have all the slack here, we could just simply zip tie it to any of these harnesses. Now this one does not have a red wire, so it won't be a backup camera. But if you need to know how to install a backup camera, I'll put a link in the top right for you, which is the red wire. All right, so you see all the zip ties there. All I gotta do is cut these off now. And there's some slack here, which is good because with the carpet will cover that. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the cover back on. And then what we're gonna do is install the front dash cam power cable. All right, so what I'm gonna do next is go ahead and install the power cable. I'm gonna install it to this right side where it goes. And then what we're gonna do is route the wire. Got it in there. All right, so the next step is to route the wire between the headliner and the window shield. Now, we already done that going to the driver's side. Just repeat the process of going to the passenger side and we'll start at that point. Okay, I have the wire already routed to the end with the A-pillar where we started going towards the rear of the vehicle from the other disc installation. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go down. And you can see how this A-pillar is already down, and I simply just push the wire right behind it, just place it right there, all the way till it reaches to the dashboard. So let me close this up and we'll continue down that way. All right, this is just simply to hold the door open, but right here is this one piece. All I gotta do is push that out and push it between that dashboard and the weather strip. And then I'm at the kick plate here, so all I gotta do is put the wire inside there. So at the dashboard to the kick plate, you simply just push this out a little bit, this kick plate. Again, they're all clipped, and if it doesn't come out, you can just push this up. But this is actually part of the trim for the floorboards. So I'm gonna push that out a little bit. Again, what I'm trying to do is push it behind the clips. See, there's another clip here. And I'm just going to push the wire behind there. All right, so now let's go into this part, the bottom, to go behind the carpet. From this point, what we're going to do is we're going to go behind this kick plate and behind the carpet. But I'm going to take this clip off because this one holds the kick plate together, which is this piece. And that way I can push this out a little bit here. And what I'm going to do is simply put it behind that bolt there. Once I get it behind the bolt, I could simply just push this back in there. Put the clip back on. And you can see it really doesn't take that long. It's very simple. All right, so now I could just put the wire behind the carpet. And what you want to do is with one hand, you want to hold up the carpet. Well, let's get back, put that wire back in there. All right, with one hand, hold the carpet. Hold the wire and push the carpet out. And then with the other hand, just push it back in. All the way to the end of the next area where we're going to. And we're going to go to that kick plate next. But before we continue, what we're going to do now is go ahead and plug in the power outlet. And that way we know exactly how much slack we have left, because if we have more slack, well, we could simply push it behind this carpet area. But we don't have that much slack, so which is great, so it's going to be a good installation. And I'm simply going to go straight underneath here and route the wire underneath this dashboard and then behind the carpet. All right, going straight down. All right, you can see it going down. Next, I'm going to go to the carpet area on this side. I'm going to push the wire behind this carpet. And let's see. All right, push the carpet back underneath the trim. Now it's done. It's all behind the carpet area. And everything's confined, everything is hidden. Now we got to do is go ahead and start the dash cam. All right, now that we got it installed, let's go ahead and start it up. And you're going to hear it come on. Starting up. And it's installed. Now, if you want step-by-step on how to use the app, I'll put a link on the top right for you. If this video was helpful for you, please give me that thumbs up. I appreciate that from you. If you're interested in this product, I'll put links in the description down below. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and select all notifications for all upcoming videos, because I also got the installation of this video, I got the review of this video, and also, again, how to use the app. If you have any questions about this dash cam, put them in the comment section down below and I'll get back to you. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.